Hello everybody, my name is Bullet Bill and this is a video explaining falling edge circuits. Now, you might be thinking, falling edge circuits, what on earth are they? They sound really technical, really confusing. I want to know what these things do. Well, in truth, they are quite technical. They're more on the more advanced level for Redstone, I would imagine. But I'm going to explain to you how they work, what they do, and why they are so useful. Now, before I explain to you what a falling edge circuit is, I'm going to explain to you what a monostable circuit is, because a falling edge circuit is a type of monostable circuit. Now, a monostable circuit is really just a complicated name for saying a circuit that will produce a single pulse, no matter what kind of input you give it. In other words, if I flip this lever on like this, you'll see I get a pulse there on the redstone lamp, but I only get that one pulse. Nothing else happens. It doesn't matter if this lever is still on. It can be on for as long as it likes. I will still only get that one singular pulse output. There it is again. I get my one piece of redstone signal, and that's it. And just to explain what this circuit actually is, so all I have here is a dropper, and it's pointing into a hopper, and the hopper is pointing back into the dropper. Then you put any item in the dropper, and when you power it, the item goes into the hopper, but then of course it goes back into the dropper. So that's only why you get a brief output from this comparator here. And here is another design, this time using a sticky piston, and just like before, if I give it one input, I always get a pulse for the output, even if the input stays on for a very long time. Now, what you will notice from both of these circuits is that I only get a pulse at the start of the input, and that's because these are both rising edge monostable circuits. That means we get a pulse at the start of the input like that. Now, as you may have guessed, falling edge circuits are slightly different. We get a pulse at the end of the input, or in other words, after things are turned off. So, to explain what I mean, here is a falling edge circuit right here. Now, if I turn on this lever, this redstone lamp turns on, but nothing else happens. Not with this redstone lamp here. It's only until after I turn off the input, there I get the pulse. Do you see that? Really clever stuff. So a falling edge circuit will wait until the signal is turned off, and then that's when you get a redstone output. And to build one of these, all you need is an input coming into any block or any line of redstone. Then you're going to have two pieces of redstone dust like this, and they are going to go into two redstone repeaters like this. Now, you could either have the comparator pointing this way or pointing that way. It doesn't really matter, but the comparator has to be set to subtract mode, and it has to have an input going into its side from this repeater here and through the bottom like this. The only other thing that you need to do is make sure that the input going into the bottom is 2 ticks slower than the input going to the side. And there's where you have your output, and there you have your falling edge circuit. So, some of you may be thinking, so what? That just seems like a complicated bit of redstone that has no use at all. Well, it's not something you would use all the time in redstone, but it definitely does have its uses, and here's an example of how you might use a falling edge circuit here. So here I have a 3, 2, 1 countdown with redstone lamps and a little dispenser set up with some fireworks. Now, what I want to do is when I have my input, I want the 3 to light up, then the 2, then the 1, and then the dispenser. If the 2 lights up whilst the 3 is still on, then that isn't really what I want. So I've used falling edge circuits here. So as you could see, we've got our input going to a pulse extender. Watch my video on that if you haven't already seen it. That will light up the redstone lamps for the 3. Then we have our falling edge circuit here. So that's going to wait until those redstone lamps are off. Then it's another pulse extender, turns on the redstone lamps for the 2. There's our falling edge circuit, so it'll wait for the redstone lamps for the 2 to turn off. Then we have the same thing for the redstone lamps for the 1, and then we should have our firework display activate. So let's try this out. If I press the button, so there's 3, and there's 2, and there's 1, and there is our fireworks display. Perfect. And just one more time to show off how useful falling edge circuits can be, I'm going to have my input as a lever this time, and we'll see what happens. If I flip on the lever like that, you'll see the 3 lights up, but not the 2 and not the 1, not dispense with the fireworks either. So it's waiting until this input is turned off. That's how they are so useful. So then if I flip the lever off, then the 2 turns on, then the 1 turns on, just like that. And that brings us to the end of another video. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed or if you found any of this useful. Maybe leave a comment down below. I love reading comments. And if you have any questions about Redstone, any videos you want me to do, any builds you want me to check out, or Redstone circuits, anything like that, I'd really love. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.